to the next level, the levy level. 2 chains and a product rule. Melissa yawned, and then John yawned. You're John, right? Yeah. I'm telling you, the yawns are going around. Okay, yeah. Here we have a product. Oh, boy. I've got this guy. Come on, work with me here. I've got this guy, and I've got this guy. So we're going to need to use the product rule and the chain rule. I know! What are those? That's these guys. That's the chain rule. It's the derivative of the outside evaluated at the inside times the derivative of the inside. And that's the product rule. It's the derivative of the first times the second plus the derivative of the second times the first. That's the derivative of W, or dW. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go deriving, boys. It's a NASCAR joke. You wouldn't get it. NASCAR?
No, I know.
Oh, okay. So you know DW. And boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's take the derivative of each of those pieces just over on the side. Let me just look at this one. What was that first one?
3t minus 1.
Savannah yawned. 3t minus 1 to the fourth. Now I'm just looking at the pieces. I don't want you to lose sight of the forest by looking at the trees. So here we do a little chain rule. We take that and we rewind it back. Evaluate it at the inside. 3t minus 1. And then we need to multiply it by the derivative of the inside. 3t. Clean that up and get 12. 3t minus 1 to the third. Yeah. And then over here, let's take the derivative of our second piece. The derivative of our second piece. What was our second piece?
2t plus 1.
2t. Oh, I think they like tea. Oh, I think they like tea. It's from the dirty, dirty South. You wouldn't get it. And that's to the what power? Minus 3? 2. And then we're taking the derivative of that guy there, see? I'm just taking the derivative of the pieces so that we can put it together with the product rule. So then that's the chain rule. I take that, I rewind it back, I evaluate it at the inside, and then I multiply it by the derivative of the inside, or deuces. And before we say goodbye to this problem, I'm going to clean it up. Call that minus 6. And then that's 2t plus 1 to the minus 4? Sure. So we were taking the derivatives of the pieces. Yeah. And why were we doing that? So that we could use the product rule. Yeah. The product rule, that's this bottom one. It's the derivative of the first times the second plus the derivative of the second times the first. And we'll do that here. So it's the derivative, whoop, that's the wrong pen. It's the derivative of the first times the second. T plus 1 to the minus 3 plus the derivative of the second times the first. T. Whoa. Back. D, T, Ted DiBiase. 2t plus 1 to the minus 3. Oh man, I just ran out of room. It's the derivative of the second times the first. 3t minus 1 to the fourth. I got to tell you guys about earthquakes after this, but let's finish this. Okay, so the derivative of that first one there, that was 12 3t minus 1 to the third times that guy, 2t plus 1 to the minus 3. Derivative of the first times the second, plus, then the derivative of that second one there, ooh, that's menos. Minus, I'm going to get the hand of this whole pad thing one day. Probably not today. 6 times 2t plus 1 to the minus 4 times that 3t minus 1 to the fourth. Oh yeah. Now's come the time. Time to factor. So we're taking out the smallest pieces. We're taking out the smallest pieces. I don't want to factor. I'm a minimalist. Minus 6 gets to come out. And then which one's smaller? The 3 or the 4? So we take out the 3. We take out the 3. Factoring's the fun part. Factoring's friends, not food. What's that from? Yeah, Nemo. So we take that out. Okay, so then, which one's smaller here? Between minus 3 and minus 4. Minus 4 is smaller, so we pull out the minus 4. We pull out 2t plus 1 to the minus 4. Now we need to talk about what's left over on the inside. On the inside, we pulled this entire thing, so that's not there. Minus 6 times what is 12? Minus 2. Okay, so minus 2 is in there. And then we pulled out minus 4 of these. So how many of those are going to be in there? One of them. And that's a 2t plus 1. That's ugly. You're ugly. And then we pulled out all 4 of these, so it's not in there. No, it is. Just kidding. We pulled out all 4, minus 4 of these. So that's gone. The minus 6 is gone. So what's left? Just one of these. And I ran out of room again, so I'll do the tacky thing. And 3t minus 1. Terrible. So we'll clean that up too. Dang. Because we do need to write this nicer. That's minus 4t plus 3t is minus a t. And then minus 3. Is that how that cleans up? I don't even know what's going on anymore. We'll put it here. So we have minus 6 times 3t minus 1 to the third minus 6, whoa, minus 6 times 3t minus 1. What was the power on that? Cubed. And
2t plus 1.
2t plus 1 to the minus 4?
Yeah.
And then we're cleaning this part up. This goes ooh, and gets you minus 4. And then ooh, minus 2. So then the minus 4 and the 3t get you a minus t, and then the minus 2 from here, and the minus 1 from there, get you a minus 3. Oh, I suppose we could clean that up even better and call that 6 times 3t minus 1 to the third times 2t plus 1 to the minus 4 times t plus 3. I just pulled that negative out of there. And then what? Boxing flower. Oh, that one's got a little petal. I think I'm gonna call it Nemo.